Hey everyone, it's Lynette. I am back from a brief hiatus. I went to the beach on vacation, and then when we got back, my daughter started her first big week at school, so trying to get her through that transition and getting up in the morning every day and things like that. So it's been really busy around here for the most part, but I'm back to making regular videos for you, so if you stuck with me this long, thank you so much, and I appreciate all your support. I think I'm going to start making videos on more of a regular schedule. I think, don't quote me on this, but I'm going to try to put out videos every Wednesday and Friday. So we'll see how that goes. I'd like to get on a more consistent schedule for you guys and for myself, my own sanity as well. So we'll see how that goes with the Wednesday and Friday thing. This video today is going to be my July and August wrap-up videos because I realized I got so busy with Booktubeathon that I forgot to film my July wrap-up. I didn't read too many books in July, but I would still like to talk about the ones that I did read. But August was a really big month for me, so I have a lot of books to share with you today. The first book I read in the month of July is called I Heart My Little A-Holes. This is a book by mommy blogger Karen Alpert. She is hysterical. The stories and the anecdotes that she shares about being a mom are hilarious. She is a brilliant writer. This book was just a whole lot of fun. If you're a mom, you know that sometimes motherhood, you just gotta laugh. You're a mom and you haven't read her book and you need a good laugh. I highly recommend this book. The next three books are part of a series by Katie Cross, who is a contemporary author. These books were really good, really motivational. My friend Tiffany on her channel, Lip Gloss Lattes and Literature, describes it as Sisterhoods of the Traveling Pants with weight loss. The first book in the series is called Bonbons to Yoga Pants by Katie Cross. It follows an overweight girl named Lexi, and I feel like all of us have a little bit of Lexi inside of us. She's just super self-conscious. She can't wear yoga pants because she feels she's too heavy. She kind of stress eats. She eats when she's emotional, and she eats to not deal with the problems of everyday life. But she has this guy that she really wants to meet that she met online, and so she starts to decide that she's going to lose weight because they're eventually going to meet up at her sister's wedding because he's going to come be her date. Throughout this book, it's more than just weight loss. It's just a total transformation that Lexi goes through. She realizes that she doesn't want to lose weight for somebody else, that she wants to lose weight because it makes her feel good and it makes her a better person. And she wants to be a better person for herself and for nobody else. So it has a really impactful message. It was a really inspirational read, really fast, fun read as well. Next book in the series is called I Am Girl Power. This one follows a girl that Lexi met at the gym who she thought was like the epitome of who she wants to be in life. She's a weightlifter, she's in shape, she looks good, she feels like she has it all together and she's confident, and her name is Megan. So this follows Megan's story, and you figure out that Megan's life is not all what it seems to be from the outside. She has some issues that she's going through. This is Megan's side of the story, which was really great, and I really loved Megan as a character. The third book in this series is called You'll Never Know, and this follows Lexi's best friend named Rochelle. And Rochelle has been pretty much her companion, her heavy-set companion. They've gained weight together, they've gotten bigger together, they've gone through hell and back together. And Rochelle seemingly is very confident with her body. She's like a cosplayer. She wears ridiculous rainbow bright outfits and Halloween costumes on the reg, and she seems to be very confident, but again, not always as it seems, and Rochelle has a lot of skeletons in her closet as well. This takes place after Rochelle has lost all of her weight and she's still not happy with her life. And so she has to kind of go through this realization of why she's not happy. She's lost all the weight, she's put in the work. Why is life still not what she expected it to be? So it kind of deals with, post-weight loss issues and things like that. So it's just again, another really inspirational, transformational book. Katie Cross was a really great writer. I really felt like she was talking about me or to me and with me. I mean, I felt like it was like a friend writing to me. I think she has another book coming out this fall. I'm not sure of what the title of that book is, but I will link Katie's website down below so that you can go. I think you can read some of these books for free on your Kindle, so be sure to check that out and check out Katie's website as well. So those were all the books that I read in the month of July. Now we will move on to August. I read a total of 10 books in the month of August. That's more books than I have read in a month in my entire life. So I am completely thrilled with that number. And again, a big thanks to Booktubeathon for pushing me and challenging me and making me read those 7 books that week. That really helped my number this month a lot. And then it kind of encouraged me throughout the month to keep that number increasing. So I read additional 3 more books in the month of August after Booktubeathon was over. The first book that I read for Booktubeathon was the book Cinder by Marissa Meyer. Cinder is a fairy tale retelling of Cinderella, except it's sci-fi and set in the future, and Cinderella is a cyborg. So it's a really interesting sci-fi take on a classic fairy tale, and really that's all I need to tell you because it's genius and I cannot wait to finish this series. The next book I read during Booktubeathon is called And I Darken by Kiersten White. This is about Vlad the Impaler's daughter and children, which was really insane. I mean, it was a really great book. I read it because this was my book of something I want to do, which something I want to do is write a book from the antagonist's point of view or the bad guy's point of view. I don't know that I would classify the main character as a bad guy. I mean, she is bad. She does do horrible things, but I think she always sort of has a reason to do them, so it's a gray area for me. But it was still a great book. It's a trilogy, I believe, and really, Vlad the Impaler's daughter, it's her origin story. It's about her childhood, about how she grew up. But it was really fantastic. That's all I really need to say about this book. It was very detailed, but it seemed to move quickly as well, even though it was a 500-page hefty guy. The next book I read was Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I read this as I watched the movie, which was a really interesting way to read a book. Even though it's the screenplay and the script, it was really kind of neat to get like the blocking and like the little theater notes and things like that, and just to read it how J.K. Rowling initially wanted it to be seen. So that was a really interesting way to read and watch that movie. And I think the second movie comes out in November, which is The Crimes of Grindelwald, and you bet I'm going to be standing in line for it because I am a fan now. I waited a really long time to watch Fantastic Beasts because I thought it might take away from my love of the original story. I think it hasn't done that. It hasn't taken away anything for me. It has just enhanced my love of Harry Potter. So I'm really excited that now I have a new story and a new series to obsess over to fill the void that Harry Potter left behind. Speaking of Harry Potter, that was the next book I read. I reread The Sorcerer's Stone. I read the Slytherin edition of The Sorcerer's Stone, which had a little bit extra information about the Slytherin house and Hogwarts as a whole. So it was really interesting to get those little extra features in that book. I think I'm actually going to continue on rereading the entire series by the end of the year because I enjoyed that so much, rereading the first one. The next book I read was a novella. It's The Queens of Fennbirn by Kendare Blake. This is a novella for the Three Dark Crowns trilogy. These were fun. They're 2 little novellas kind of in the same book. One is about the queens like kind of growing up at the Black Cottage and things like that. And one is sort of the legend of the Oracle Queen from like 500 years or so before the actual story takes place. So both of them were really intriguing. I liked the story of the Oracle Queen a little bit more, but again, it just enhanced my love of this series. And the third book in that series just came out, I think yesterday or the day before, which is called Two Dark Reigns. So if you haven't picked that up yet, be sure to do so. The next book I read in the month of August is a biography that I've been wanting to read forever, and that is Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham. I actually listened to a lot of this via audiobook because Lauren Graham actually narrates it, so it's kind of neat to hear exactly how she wanted the book to read. So she's just insanely funny. She's one of my favorite actresses. Of course, I love Gilmore Girls, and I love Parenthood. I love everything Lauren Graham has ever done. So if you are a big fan of Gilmore Girls or Parenthood, because she talks a lot about Parenthood in this book as well, I definitely recommend that you check that book out. Next book I read was a collection of short stories called Toil and Trouble, 15 Stories of Women in Witchcraft. I read this as an ARC, but the book did come out, I believe, on August 28th, so you can go and purchase it now. This is a great book if you're looking for a witchy kind of Halloween, dark fall book to read. I would definitely recommend reading this during the month of October because obviously it's about witches, but this had such a variety and a collection of stories, very eclectic collection of stories, so I liked that we got sort of the classic witch tale, but then sort of more of a modern twist on things too. So if you really love witches or Halloween, this is the book for you. The next book I read is called This Story is a Lie by Tom Pollock. You'll find it on Goodreads, however, under the name White Rabbit, Red Wolf. But this is the cover. This Story is a Lie by Tom Pollock. So if you're looking to buy this book, I just typed in This Story is a Lie on Amazon, and this is what came up. And this is the correct book. This was a great story. This is about a like 17-year-old mathematician, but he's also severely OCD, like so much so that he can barely go out in public because he can't stand to be around people or in crowds. His mother is also this like insanely brilliant like scientist lady, and he has a twin sister as well. So one night they're going to an award show because his mother is about to receive an award for her work. But then he freaks out. He runs out of the theater because there's too many people for him. His mother follows, but then he hears her scream. He comes and realizes that she got stabbed. These people come. He thinks they might be paramedics, but they also could be bad guys posing as paramedics. So you have no idea who in the story you can trust. At the same time, his twin sister also goes missing. So it is just an insane ride. Every time you think you can trust somebody, you read a little bit more and realize that they've been lying the whole time about who they are. So this was a great novel, especially if you love unreliable narrators, which I personally do. This was a great mystery and a great thriller. The next book I read because I want to see the movie, but I was afraid it might be a little bit scary, so I wanted to read the book first to see, and that's A Simple Favor. The novel was a lot like Gone Girl. It had very much Gone Girl-ish vibes, so if you love the novel Gone Girl, you're probably going to like this. This is an adult fiction book that takes place between two best friends. One is a mommy blogger, and one is like a very classy, glamorous woman who works in the fashion industry. They couldn't be more different. But then the woman who works in the fashion industry disappears, and it's sort of a novel of finding out what happened to her. But you know, another unreliable narrator. It's narrated by 3 different people, and you can't trust any of them. So it's very much like Gone Girl, as in you don't know who to trust, you don't know who's telling the truth, and at the same time you're trying to piece together the mystery. And the last book that I read in the month of August is Girl at the Grave by Terry Bailey Black. This is Terry Bailey Black's debut teen novel, which was fantastic. I really highly enjoyed it. It takes place in the 18th century. This girl's mother killed somebody when this girl, our main character, was 6 years old. And her whole life she has thought that her mother is a murderer, and she's lived kind of in scandal in this small 18th century Gothic town. But then she realizes that maybe her mother was innocent, and so she goes trying to solve the case and prove her mother's innocence, and she might learn a little bit too much that kind of makes her uncomfortable and has to really she has to settle a lot of things with herself, if that makes any sense. So this was a really great read. Again, everybody in the town is suspicious. You don't know who to trust. I thought the culprit was a very fun surprise. It was a really good mystery. So if you're looking for a great Gothic setting mystery book this fall, Girl at the Grave is the book for you. So that is it for my July and August wrap up. I thank you so much for watching this video. I'm sorry I took such a long hiatus, but be sure to check out my channel every Wednesday and Friday for a new video. Hopefully I will follow that schedule for you. If you're not subscribed to my channel yet, I really appreciate all the subscriptions I can get, and click that little notification bell down there so that you are aware of when I post a new video. And I will see you next time. Bye guys.